Boyfriend thinks I'm a gold digger. How do I get him to trust me? My boyfriend and I have been dating for a little over a year, friends for about a year before that. We are planning to move in together after quarantine and we recently got into an argument. Right now, he has a much bigger apartment than mine, and lots of nice things. I'm barely graduating this semester and he already has his degree, stable job, no student debt, so naturally he is in a better position to afford better stuff. Prior to quarantine I visited him pretty regularly for a couple nights at a time, vs him visiting me, because I really only have one TV, one bedroom, my kitchen is not stocked all the time, and I have 3 roommates. He lives closer to the city center, alone, has multiple TVs, multiple rooms, a fully stocked kitchen. He is welcome to visit me, but he has admitted that my apartment's boring. And I'm not near as many activities, i.e. movie theater, shopping, etc. We do take turns paying for meals when we go out, and I do bring him takeout and spend money on gas to visit him, so although we are not equal I wouldn't really say I'm gold digging. Anyway, during this argument he said he feels I'm only with him for his stuff and I don't actually love him. I don't know where this feeling comes from. And it's news to me as he didn't express this when we signed for an apartment. I offered a roommate agreement, like a prenup, but not marriage related, and he said no, those don't work. He said trust takes time, which is valid, and he will come around when I've earned it, and he feels he can trust me to not take advantage of him. To remedy this, I stopped sleeping over, showering there, and started bringing food for us to share from local restaurants, because I don't want him to feel like I'm using him, since I genuinely love him. The issue, I'm the kind of person who considers making love to be an emotional experience, and if he doesn't trust me, I don't want to be intimate. He thinks I'm being unreasonable and taking it too seriously, but sleeping with someone who doesn't trust me just feels gross. Am I taking it too seriously? Any advice for how to get someone's trust back, get them to stop feeling used when they're financially better off than you are? Reddit comments. This and he might have family, friends whispering in his ears saying that's what she is doing. This happened to an ex of mine. His family stared to turn him against me by saying this sort of thing. Every time he's upset at you, he will use whatever he has allowed you to have against you. Why say no to the agreement? So that when he's angry he can say he didn't want one, and you still took advantage. When does it end? How insane and unreasonable is it that you aren't showering at your partners and bringing over meals to prove that you're not a gold digger? Men who are insanely vigilant about gold diggers are often afraid because they don't have something else to offer and know that putting the onus on you to prove your worth makes him the commodity, and every time you bend over backwards to make it happen it continues. He is being manipulative. When I'm financially better off than my partner I carry a little extra weight. When my partner is better off they carry a little extra weight. Never would I stay with someone who decided to doubt my character and hold it over my head as a facet of a functioning relationship. He's going to manipulate you into paying for his food and other things, all while telling you that you're a gold digger. You're earning his emotional trust by completely debasing yourself. You deserve so much better. Relationship you should want to nurture and help it grow stronger by sharing and giving to one another. If it's a competition of who brings more or has more then it will never work. If he's not willing to truly join together with you and will always see his stuff as his, then it's not a true partnership. It's not that you have done something for him to mistrust you. It's that he doesn't value you as much because you don't have as much material net worth as him. He values things over emotions. He believes he's truly a better person than you because he's got more. He will always compete with you and ensure you never get ahead of him. My alarm bells went off when you said he wants you to prove yourself. I had an ex that would insist on buying me things and doing things for me, then later try to guilt me by saying I'm using him, etc. From my experience there is no right thing you could have done because this stems on their insecurity. The goalpost will keep moving so that you'll always be put in the wrong. Insecure people like the control of you having to prove yourself and work for them. In a healthy relationship you should never have to prove your trustworthiness or worth, unless you've done something to lose it. Yes, the devious art of gold digging. Practiced by generations of women to check notes, stay a couple of nights a week in a slightly nicer apartment. I think you see how ridiculous he's being. If you were a gold digger you'd probably pick a wealthier target. You wouldn't go to all this trouble to stay at his place occasionally. He's delusional about his own position and projecting it unfairly on you. Not exactly hitting Bill Gates up for a relationship. He definitely seems like he's massively projecting. Also, who even says that? You're using me and I don't trust you. It's so bizarre and hurtful. No, this doesn't sit right with me. Let alone the fact that you've known each other for 2 years, and that should be enough for him to know that this isn't true. But he also basically entered a relationship with someone he didn't trust, which is wrong on so many levels, considering that trust and honesty is the foundation of any healthy relationship. To top it all off, now he's trying to pressure you into making love with him when you told him that you weren't ready, when he told you that he thinks you're a gold digger and that you have to earn his trust. He should realized that your relationship would change. You not being as intimate with him is only logical, considering the barriers he placed. Also, he claims something without having any proof in the first place. He's trying to make you prove a negative, which is frankly impossible. There is a reason the saying is innocent until proven guilty, because the person did not commit the crime until proven otherwise. From what I've read, it seems to me like you're the only one putting any effort in this relationship now, which is, again, not healthy. Both sides should put effort to make the relationship work, otherwise it's just doomed to fail. Right now you're carrying the weight of both sides, while also having to deal with his insecurities, which he should work out himself and not take them out on you. But you've known each other for 2 years, and I understand that you want to make this work. You should both sit down and talk things out and solve your issues. But you have to tell him that this can't go on like this, that he can't just take without having to give, and that he shouldn't place his insecurities on you. If he needs a break to work on them, fine, but he can't expect you to do all the work for him. If your talk doesn't work things out, but you still want to make it work, then IDK what to say, marriage counseling? Set you an impossible standard to live by in an attempt to prove a negative. You know this never works. It's even more grotty, because already he's got you actively accepting a role that is less than an equal partner, just to prove you're not a gold digger. This isn't healthy. Trust and respect are part of the foundation of a relationship. They are the bare minimum required for a relationship to function. Trust and respect should not be the end goal. You can't gain trust without giving trust, and there is no relationship without it. Also, where is his effort here? He obviously has issues with attachment, trust, and relationships. What is he doing to overcome them? Why is he pushing this on you? You can't fix his emotional problems for him. This is something he should be actively addressing. Where one partner is less than, is walking on eggshells, or is desperate to prove themselves, it's a red flag. This type of power dynamic is controlling. To be honest, this should be a serious deal breaker. This is a him problem, not a you problem. He shouldn't be punishing you for his issues. Sounds like he has some intimacy, commitment and/or self-esteem issues, and now that you're about to take a big step forward in your relationship, he's trying to sabotage it by being an idiot. Instead of walking in eggshells around him, have another conversation about his actual feelings about moving in together. If he's dismissive, defensive, or blames you for something, then I'd really rethink your cohabitation plans. He's probably not ready. It's clearly wrong and messed up. I mean, a gold digger would agree to make love. That's what gold digging is. Give away your body to stay with a dude that have money. You don't want that. So clearly you're not a gold digger. He should have figured this out by himself. I guess he had problems, previous bad relationship, or just insecurity. Well, to me is that traditional views of marriage are more or less the same as gold digging. What differs are the woman's assumed or openly stated motivations. Marry up or date a guy who's wealthier than you. Let him be the breadwinner, have his kids, play a support role, enjoy the privilege of staying home in return for access to your body? Fine. Do the same thing, but be less emotionally invested in him, not invested at all. Have ambitions, see the stability it could provide, etc., and it's suddenly not fine. Within the context of marriage and implied subservience, seeking stability, security, and a better life through a relationship with a man, something that has been done for centuries, and it's a-okay. But if you were to enjoy it, or openly embrace financial stability, it's a problem. It's honestly bananas. Has major insecurity issues, and that's not your fault. If he doesn't trust you by now, you'll never truly earn his trust. The problem isn't you, it's him. You don't get him to trust you. You've already proven you are trustworthy, unless there's something you've done or lied to him about. He needs to work on his insecurity and earn the right to intimacy with you. He said he feels I'm only with him for his stuff and I don't actually love him. Because if they don't have the internal sense of self to believe that they deserve love and actually would put into words the idea that you just like their stuff, things won't end well. If he cannot at least accept as a working hypothesis that you love him after a year, he's got a significant problem. A year may not be long enough to sign over his inheritance to you, but it's certainly long enough to form a working hypothesis about the person's character. And if his big goal after a year together is to not take risks, that's not good. And if he's rude enough to put this into words to you, he's, well, I won't say what he is. Trying to love someone who is suspicious of your motives is a no-win situation. At the end of the day, although it may take quite a while, you probably won't love him. Or, you may still love him, but you'll probably eventually become exhausted trying to figure out if he will ever trust you. Like he thought he could test you and make you jump through hoops, and there's been no negative consequences for him, just all upside. Because you were supposed to start paying for everything and not questioning him, so he didn't feel taken advantage of. Clearly this backfired on him, and TBH I'd go a step further and not just stop sleeping with him, but throw the whole man away, because he sounds super manipulative. Comment and subscribe.